Today I can't know say Apostle Johnson Suleiman a rugged pastor. He don't gang up with Peter Obi, destroy APC party. Thank God, no be me talk this word. By now, DSS for don't they find me. Obedient to now know na work. Oh, yeah, share the video and help Peter Obi destroy the party more and more. Peter Obi, God forbid. Only one question when they ask you now you close their party. Anyway, Obedient, you know na work. Share this video carefully and listen. Share am carefully. Sophie, share am.
How many of you have your PVC? You know what to do. You know what to do. Don't vote for symbols. Vote for human beings. We have been voting for symbols. You vote for symbol, it didn't work. So now vote for human beings. Don't vote for symbol. Your house is not dirty. You don't need broom. You don't need broom. Your house is not dirty. So be careful. In Nigeria, there's no VAR this year. All our attention this year is election. There is no money. There's no fuel. Stop carrying people's issue on your head. You cannot be a father to who you did not bet. You can't be a mother to who is not your son. You cannot be a father to a girl that you are about to marry. You are a fiancé, not a father. How do you want to do for her what her father could not do? You want to inherit the demons that her father saw and avoided. You can't carry a load that is not your own. She comes to you for school fees. If God has blessed you, pay. But if you know you are struggling, pray. But if you know you are struggling, pray. Am I talking to somebody right now? God is very important. God is intervening. We are entering a season now. By next week now they say it's fall. Don't stress yourself. Don't take anybody anywhere. There's no fuel. Don't buy anybody anything. There is no money. So let's celebrate Valentine in fasting and prayer. We have election coming up. Election is coming. Let us fast. When somebody calls you this period and say, Val is coming up, tell the person, and say, Val is coming up, tell the person, get your PVC, election is coming up. All our attention this year is election. Our attention this year is election. In Nigeria, there's no Val this year. Our focus is election. Don't distract us. Don't distract us. Don't distract us. We want to vote. We want to vote. We want to vote. Next year we'll celebrate that. This year is voting. Are you following what I'm talking about?
When you were campaigning in Abeokuta, you were campaigning on your record as governor for 8 years in Anambra State. How the state won the prize, was recognized for being first in the realization of Millennium Development Goals in Anambra State. But that same Anambra State, the presidential candidate of the APC went there recently in Oka, and he said he has read the Bible, that Peter in the Bible betrayed Jesus Christ 3 times, and that Peter Obi, who is from this Anambra State, will betray Nigerians. He called you Mr. Stingy. You said you were saving money. That saving money for what? That if you want to be president of Nigeria, you need a man who will deploy resources to spend to achieve results, not somebody who will sit on resources and he will say he's Mr. Stingy. So I've not seen your response to that, but there's an attempt to, tag this label upon you and make it stick permanently.
Well, Bola Tinubu remains a very respected senior brother anytime, but so he has a right to his opinion. But he forgets to do that. Even when Peter denied Jesus 3 times, he still made him the head of the church. He still built the church on him. It is that means that notwithstanding the denial, the God found him wanting to build that rock. And I'm saying that trust this country to me, I will rebuild it. It will be the same rock on which they will rebuild this country. On stinginess. Because we don't know what is called capital formation. For you to develop, it is a critical thing. Go and read famous economists. Over the years, capital formation is about saving. If you don't save, you can't form capital. And if you don't have capital, you can't develop. Ruben, I was number 1 in MDG, which is the only measure of development. The difference between developed and undeveloped place is education and health. I was number 1 in education. I was one of the best in health. I was number 1 in in issue of pulling people out of poverty. You can go and ask Magnus back home, who is in charge then and everything. Ask all the donor agencies, who is governor who comes first to contribute his counterpart funding. It's me. And on top of that, Ruben, when everybody is owing salary, owing pension, owing gratuity, owing contractors, which have collapsed most of the contractors, I left office not owing one contractor or supplier, not owing pension or gratuity, not doing anything, and ended up saving over 75 billion naira, which nobody have ever done. I did not in any way allocate myself any contract directly or indirectly, allocate myself any land directly or indirectly, or become a consultant to any of the company, state agencies, anything directly or indirectly. I wasn't even entitled to any gratuity or pension to date. So yes, I agree that Peter denied Jesus 3 times. He showed remorse, repented, and Jesus entrusted the church on him. And I'm asking Nigerians to entrust Nigeria on me.
Okay, fair enough. But there's something even more interesting. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, says nobody should take you seriously because you will not win. And that you are best a Nollywood actor. Okay, the Actors Guild of Nigeria has responded that he's putting down their profession. Of Nigeria has responded that he's putting down their profession.
They don't need to protest.
El-Rufai says you can't score more than 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, maybe 5% in Kano, and that's all there is, and that you should focus on Nollywood.
Well, I thank El-Rufai for what he said. At least he gave me some percentage. So I'm going to work hard to improve those percentage. And he recognized the fact that I'm an actor. And I think part of what is holding this country from development is recognizing those engines that will develop us. One of the most critical places I want to focus is improving our entertainment industry, which includes the Nollywood. And now that I'm a acclaimed actor, I'm asking all those who are involved in the entertainment industry, being one of them, to support me so that I can improve their position. What else can you do when people in your industry, when those who are here have recognized me as one of them, I urge them to support me so that we can be able to ensure that I build their business better.
Okay, but before we go, Mr. Peter Obi, there have been reports of defections from your party to other parties in Ekiti, specifically, Bauchi, specifically, and even more, Jigawa. And we just have, as it is now, it's a matter of days to the presidential election. How are you addressing this division, this defection from your party to other parties?
Quite frankly, Ruben, I'm focused on building a new Nigeria, not on defections. For me today, Nigeria have a huge problem. Ruben, we live in a country today that has huge debts. that we don't know where we're going to start dealing with it. We have a country where 139 million people, 33 million people are in poverty. We have a country with over 20 million out of school children. How do you now worry about who is defecting to what? My concentration is, how do we start pulling people out of poverty? How do we start securing people? People are insecure here. So that's not what will worry me. For example, you mentioned where people are defecting in the north, where I will get 1 vote or where I will get 2 votes. Ruben, I went to Bauchi. You must have heard it because it was in your news. And I went to pay my respect to Tafa Balawa. And I said to, why did God not give us men like this over the years? This man in 1964 borrowed a first loan, $82 million to build the Kainji Dam to generate 760 megawatts of electricity. I have a letter to the World Bank. I had a reply. Ruben, 59 years after, our debt is 77 trillion naira. I don't know which rate to use, but since my own rate is usually 650, but if I use the government rate, official rate, 410, am I right? That will give you about $187 billion. Ruben, that $82 million then is about approximately now about $1.250 billion. If you divide it with 187 billion, with 187, it will give you approximately today about 150 Kainji dams. Where is it? That's what you should be worrying in Nigeria. Not that Mr. Obi defected from this place to that place. A new Nigeria is possible. That's what Dati, Baba Ahmed, and myself are offering Nigerians.